My name is Bobbie Shrivastav. I'm a co-founder, chief product officer of Benekiva.
Hey everyone, Brent Williams, founder and CEO of Benekiva.
And in today's Benekiva Minute, we're going to be recapping a conference that both Brent and I went 2 weeks ago, Bitcoin 2002 or 2002, Bitcoin 2022 in Miami. And we're going to talk a little bit about what we heard from a trends perspective and what we think is from a claims perspective, blockchain, crypto as it relates to claims processing. So with that, Brent, I'll let you go first, and then I'll share my thoughts.
Yeah, we've often said that blockchain or the technology of blockchain isn't going to change or disrupt any industry or solve the issues of any industry. It's about finding those specific use cases where the technology can add true value, and then testing those use cases to see if the value was truly inherent in that process. We believe that the value of the technology could be used in the claims process from an audit, from a litigation, from those types of scenarios. Because if you chain the entire process from intake to payout and everything in between, well, then it becomes irrefutable because the technology won't allow you to change anything. So that was the use case that we felt would be a unique use case in the claims industry. The second piece was payments, right? With the different cryptocurrency payment options that are coming, we are going to reach a generation that wants their payment in those type of options. For example, I often say that, let's say grandma leaves her grandson $100,000 life policy. It At some point we have to be able to meet the beneficiary where they're at and offer some type of crypto as the payment instead of the old check is in the mail process, or we'll give you actual dollars. Because a lot of this generation, there are some people in this generation, they don't want dollars, they want it in some other form of payment. So we need to make sure that we can kind of stay abreast of those trends and put carriers in a position in the future where they can offer these alternative payment types. So that was really why we wanted to go and analyze the conference, kind of see what was out there. But it was interesting. There were some very interesting use cases out there.
Yeah. So as a product person and as as someone that's always looking ahead of, future, not, short term, when I do my product roadmap for Benekiva, always look at it from an 18-month angle, as well as what's the future. And and in some of my presentations that I've done to carriers, showcasing what we're doing with Benekiva, I've of course said, okay, here's what we're going to do for the next 12 months, 12 to 18 months. And then I have a slide of then what's the future, and it's really meeting the generations where they're at. So, what about on the crypto landscape. And honestly, it goes beyond payment, right? So payment is, like, for us, such a, and we have to get there, right? So there are a lot of generations that are asking for those types of mechanisms. They're asking for mechanisms now for basic electronic transfers, and I know some of the carriers are getting there versus the check is in the mail. So
Right.
we're looking at interesting partnerships that could allow us to do both, which is
Yeah.
super super cool. And
Yeah.
then from a technology perspective, that conference was really good because there's when an industry is very new is the type of pitches that you get to see.
Oh,
And these pitches are solicited for 3 to 6 months. And the amount of prep that some of these
oh,
founders are doing. So that we are at an infancy phase. And Brent, I know you want to share a couple of those presentations that we saw. But what that showed me, what that showed you probably, Brent, is there's so much opportunity here, and this industry is hungry for use cases, and I'm excited about what we're going to be able to do from a claims perspective and the partners that we're talking about, even looking at it from we have our three pillars of Benekiva: next gen claims, servicing transformation, and our new business. And I see a lot of that new technology helping us beyond the claims as we get deeper into servicing. I want to start exploring NFTs as an avenue. When we look at new business, that's where we could do a lot of cool things with these technologies. But the key is
Smart
using
contract.
technology as an enabler. It's not the future. It's not gonna, what's the saying, Brent, that you say? It doesn't solve the world's ailments.
Yeah.
Um, but it's pretty exciting, um, from a landscape perspective.
Yeah, I would agree. I mean, that was the big thing that I took from this conference was there are some unique opportunities out there for from a use case perspective and how we can loop that into the insurance industry. And the second piece, like I've always said, the technology isn't going to cure what ails an industry. It's just not. It's about finding that use case where it makes sense. And I think in the claims use case where we can have that irrefutable process from start to finish is great. I think in the servicing where you could leverage NFTs from a servicing perspective is an awesome use case. I think on the new business side, if you can loop in all of the signatures and document requirements with an actual blockchain backed smart contract, I think things get very interesting. And we've had that conversation for quite a while with some folks in the industry. Brian Casey, one of the most influential insurance attorneys, and he believes that's where things are going. Things are going to go to a smart contract perspective, which is driven by the base technology of blockchain. So I think there's some really cool use cases that we can leverage. Uh, as we progress into the future of this technology. But the one thing that I did learn was we are in our infancy when it comes to the potential use cases of this. We had presentations or saw presentations of startups, and I just I there were a couple of them I just wanted to strangle these kids because I'm thinking, my gosh, you don't realize the opportunity you have. You're presenting your company from a funding perspective in front of a panel of judges, 5 to 6 judges, and one of them was Kevin O'Leary,
Yep.
Mr. Wonderful. I mean, this guy himself could fund your company, and these kids are coming out, with cut off shorts, uh, a cut off t-shirt, an overshirt that's bright pink and hangs to their knees, socks up to their kneecaps, and Converse. And the first thing out of this kid's mouth was, "Well, I hope this pitch goes well. I just finished this last night." I mean, really? It just baffled me.
That's when you know when you're at an infancy stage. And the
Yeah,
key is, honestly, as an investor, when I see a founder like that, and if they're onto something, guess what? If I give that person probably sold his company or got investment in pennies.
yeah,
If it's good tech, we can investors like us would go beyond like
yeah,
the look and feel. But guess what you just did? You just totally devalued your worth, and
yep,
I just got the company for pennies.
yep,
And I could take that and put like some good leaders leadership around it, and
yeah,
can flip that, right? Or can make it into, and that's, I think that's where uh, some of the folks like need a little bit more maturity. It's not we can't look at a technology from a coolness perspective. It's
yeah,
got to solve real
problems.
problems in the industry. And the key is it will, and it
Yep,
is going to. But it's don't get up into the hype of looking cool, because some of these folks were like my age, and I'm like, you can comb your hair. So it's okay. Um, But we will be back. We already bought tickets for 2023 Bitcoin conference, and I would just recommend everyone that's listening to this, whether in the insurance industry, whether you're in other industries, this technology is here to stay. You
Mhm.
better learn it. As I said in one of my posts on Twitter, disrupt or be disruptive. What side do you want to be on? And it's a prime time. We're so early. Keep researching, come up with use cases, partner with partners like us that are already ahead of it. And we'll be keep attending these sessions and keep learning this space. That's how
Yep,
you get ahead instead of FOMOing and later
yep,
and being lost in
absolutely,
what's
I agree.
to offer. Okay, team, until next time with another brief Benekiva minute, and we will see you next time. Thank you.
See you.